in 2021. A year National Cathedral we know David Ejaya or your architect no Ghana buying from the office of the president no finance minister ye yisika 32 million Ghana cedis for his services and yet the construction of a year the cathedral consultancy services ye kasa consultancy services are there adikudienti me 32 million Emma David Ejaya no and say ye ka say ye per companies are more experience are more ebe to me abesi cathedral no more knowledge more adwene ye disi cathedral inti aban Efred David J Gachen said David J you are a consultant was Addo because ye nimu why sisi cathedrals be we say we sisi bu America ye pese wo no ubetena ano na wo hwehwe company a sebio omo that experience that expertise a omo betumi si cathedral a ebi NC we ase da. Now David Ajay na nkasa so na the companies are obeveti omo e the cathedral na shop nsa so bunsi. God being so good, you know. David Ajay na yetua na 32 million Ghana cedis, you know. Say on fanya sa consultancy job, you know. And select company be my na company ni basic cathedral, no. David Ajay na company and sa wini sa a year bid, you know. Inti onwa tna so eveti companies and onwa so a company e wini ye. Inti we na uno atichire no. Inti yetua 32 million Ghana cedis. Ama David Ajay Emma I a consultant I say you on one company eba basic cathedral, no. Mema Renfi. Yes, sir. These are some of the things we had. Only a small portion of annual expenditure has been spent on National Cathedral. And yet the finance minister Bekachere say, "Yene yesika yetwa yejeno kakrebi ni ye frima yede edit AC Cathedral no." Or some says from the beginning. Nana Addo Ekufuado and MPP aban we kachere say, "A ye a bonne Ekufuado share a ye." On the Nyankopon no wa nhye Nyankopon bo se or the Ghana for etwo ye taxes and the ebetua a year cathedral no na eye onoa and na oni the Christophobi ebe pesika esi cathedral no. And so when the finance minister catch the Ghana for nyina say or say a year cathedral no ye ne taxes na ye gine dibitua adwasafo ka ewa brochira odi atem no eno ene yi kakra bi ene ye di si National Cathedral no. Wo ye Ghana ni wo ye badwemba wo ye Christo ni te semia asema me no beken dwene ho ye. Yesa ehu sansem we bi ewo eye efri aban ho. National Cathedral will cost $100 million. Nana Addo Ekufuado ene eye MPP aban we be see so no omo ka kire e na obia can be from their communicators to every single individual in the MPP. Omo ka kire say cathedral na Nana Addo Ekufuado ABC no ebe cost no $100 million. Adikodienti ameka say ebe cost no $100 million because yene Ghana for yemfa yen sanche krata biase enka say yesi cathedral. It is him and his colleagues, his pastor colleagues who want to go generate their own money and do what? And pay for the cathedral. Into the first time Ram Catcher said this cathedral will cost us $100 million. Let's move forward. Yes, in some say National Cathedral to cost about $200 million. Dinka be catcher say ebe cost $100 million. And secretariat no esa be catcher in 2021 say now a $300 million ako $200 million. Remember, say ube si daya unim edan do abeso si. If you want to build 4-bedroom house, obeso si endankra enaya unim blocks do a mason ni begina obeka kyerɛw sebio your inference you beto nyoma me beto nyoma so nti wo to cement 10 bags a mason need to make just to cement 3 bags ka ho plus 1 minus 1 and there one say cathedral can say you been $100 million no cathedral na ajampe abedu $200 million e dey na esi e ye nyoma ya tutuma ko do point bi a yesade 1000% and 100% aka cathedral ni sika ho nti as we speak now the cathedral is going to cost $200 million. Ensiwa yasa ate eye asemfoforo efri eye aban we ho. $350 million needed to complete National Cathedral. Eye secretariat explains. Sa secretariat we are omobeka kire say $100 million in the first place. Any of the kind second one year $200 million every Christopher secretariat we are say oma contact eye creme de la creme experts people who are good in building. Omobeka said $200 million, and they about 2022 2021 almost Beka said cathedral no and cost $200 million. Na cathedral no be cost $350 million. Into the cathedral no the amount you best spend this cathedral no a project cost from 100 all the way to $350 million. But as we sit here, Obia bekan kyerɛ say some modifications have been made. Ebia cathedral no yesi baako aka ho, and I say yesi half aka ho, and I say ye bibia aka ho ama price no e bloati sa, because it will only take maybe some extra work be a bigger than a cathedral and a bit to be bloated scanner to $350 million. Because if you brought in experts who know how much will be spending on this cathedral, I don't think it should jump that high to $350 million. Now, all these things we had it. And at the end of the day, the question you'll be asking is, National Cathedral no a wine dia. National Cathedral no a Ghana for ni etia. National Cathedral no a Nana Danko Kufuor na akopesi kebitua ana say or the abetu yedim na ofe chire ewie sika efri ho. Let's go straight to the documents and let me prove something to you. Now, you see this. This is a letter from the President's office to the Public Procurement Authority. This letter was written on the 10th of December 2018. Now, Makara says, pay rapt attention to the wording. It's very, very important. The wording is very important. Now, this is the letter that the presidency, the Jubilee House, signed by the Chief of Staff, wrote to the Public Procurement Authority. If the Public Procurement Authority are saying they don't have this letter in their possession, they should come out tomorrow and let the world know. Now, let's read the letter. Menya botre akan ne achechim emagana nibia aten ho ase. Mo amutie me on this platform, please ignore whoever is on this platform trying to distract you. Watch me. Forget about the comments. Watch and listen. That's the most important thing. MPP for one kwasi afori bia be go no more distract mo. Don't listen. Don't be reading. Just listen to what I'm saying. Ghanaian Oshame is very important. Now I'll say, request for approval to use single source for the appointment of a consulting firm. Omo chokoma PPA say, omo pe approval say, the Jubilee House wants to use a consulting firm to do a job. Check the wording very well. Now, what does the letter say? This office of the president is seeking reference number. Let me go to the reference number. It's very, very important. And the letter was received on the 11th of December 2018, LPPA. And the reference number is SCRDA 415/427/0. This office of the president is seeking the approval of the Public Procurement Authority, PPA, under Section 725A of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663, as amended by Act 914, to use single source to appoint Sir David Ajayi and Associates Limited as design team for the construction of the National Cathedral, National Christian Cathedral. Now, President Officer Chokoma PPA say, almost pe say PPA eyi puma kwemu na omo appointi eye Sir David Ajayi an associate omo company no say president in the Jubilee House adwene wo so omo nko na omo gitum say omo betumi abedi adwuma. They will be the what design team for the construction. Omo and construct National Cathedral no, they will design the National Cathedral. Intimino ka say ye company after a man David Ajayi an associate 32 million. Say omo fanyi company no you on one company no right now no aban a Jubilee House air trauma PPA say omo mo kwan no mo use David Ajayi na onye design na ye de besi National Cathedral no ho adwuma enti dem kan first one no ase kire no. Now let's move forward. He goes on to say this: the National Christian Cathedral, or say the National Christian Cathedral. But Matthias says cathedral in Ghana for Nadia. But when they were writing to PPA, they were very specific. The wording is very important. Also, the National Christian Cathedral. As they be almost say, oh, cathedral in Ghana for dia Muslim for betumaba, a conform betumaba, yenina ni esi cathedral. So the National Christian Cathedral, and the wording is very important. Now, the National Christian Cathedral is a partnership between the state and the Christian community. Also, National Christian Cathedral no, in Kabum, a partnership, a Christian community no, any a Ghana buying and a waka omutri abon. The state is facilitating the process by providing the land, the secretariat, and seed money for the preparatory phase. Almost say Ghana bino and omoma asase no ena omo aso ena edi seed money sika yede to asie no ento asie sika no Ghana ban omo masika ena omo sa ema asase ena omo sa bia bibia for secretariat ede astarte dwumadie. He goes on to say this: the main funding for the project will be through fundraising by the Christian community, both home and abroad, relieving any undue financial burden on the state. I must say, sika edebe sa cathedral we ni ebebo ho bra ni nyina no sika nye aban ne betua na mmom no ankura Christopher a mo fie eni abrochire sika omo begege enom de besi but also tia say all start no say National Cathedral no aban no ena beto asie sika ama aban na sa ama asase ena aban no be se tua den secretariat bika. Now, or say, National Cathedral, de among person de how kese beto aban so nti enya dia Ghana aban ne betua hoka na Christopher individuals or more wiase efie any away and that's abroad and betua National Cathedral we hu eka. Now he goes on to say this: we a letter we free Ekufuado office chief of staff na sign to PPA. That time na ABAJ was the boss of PPA 2018. I'll say this partnership framework between states and the Christian community will be a practical expression of the social partnership envisaged to foster participatory development of country as a collective goal. I'll say Sajmadia we know Jumedia a Christopher Omo ni say anase ono presidency ni Christopher hu ni say Jumedia bi anase akwantu enamo bi ombeso butu na oman no ye kan ye bom na ye nyina ye tumitu upon wa ebetumi atigana nim ama ye nyina ebe hu se ye beduru empempenso bi a ede empuntuo ene kroye ebeba nti o che PPA for say cathedral no de ede nkabom ene Ghana for free afane ne bebia behia ama yetumpon abom. So it's a symbol of unity that will bring every Ghanaian together. Now go on paragraph 3. The cathedral will house impressive chapels and baptistry, 5,000 seat main auditorium that is expandable to 15,000 for national events and celebration. I must say, cathedral no, cathedral ebefa nipa impim num 5,000. Na no kra no ombetuma se biem amana fa nipa impim dunan 15,000. Send ye beya celebration any event ebekokoso no ye betumi akoye no National Cathedral ho. The presidency SH say it will include, among other things, a grand central hall, a music school, and will house Africa's first Bible museum and documentation center. In addition, there will be a provision for a national park. Inti omoche PPA this adekwenti among grante mumbiam muyipumakwem na David Ajay moment chance na ombeye the person to design this cathedral and say yebeye park room national park bebem omobeye bibi to say Bible museum omobeye bibi to say a school music school and nyoma ni nyina beba cathedral nim. Now, the 4th paragraph, which is the last one, I'll say, the legacy of the cathedral project is immense and requires a design team with varied architectural and design experience that fit into the, there's something here which is covered. Intentions of putting up an impressive national edifice, said David Ajay Associates, with their vast experience and achievement in the field of architecture have been identified by the office as the design team to manage the preparatory phase of the project and subsequently supervision of the construction. Almost say cathedral no ade bi ehia pa Ekufuado na etro we akoma PPA nti omde to form no omo say say David Ajay any the company ni omni nkofo bi a omo say experience na omo betumi a design company no na omo make sure say subsequent no omo supervise construction no into 1 there is design and 2 there is construction, supervision of construction. Now, some people confused. Me started me catch say there was a document out you tia David Ajay we are so 32 million Ghana cedis say on fanya den on fan verti companies or verti companies ni we are ya no ne tia no saka no oyi company ni we are na sa company no so ye tia ne car odiba be den odiba be design a yet National Cathedral no and sana supervision into three things. David Ajay had to do what? He was a consultant to select a company that would design. It's 32 million Ghana cedis. And no design we no on one company the winning here and yes I chose on one company no so say about jiska na wa draw or draw we are no as supervise near your contract construction. Now it goes on to say this. The total budget for the assignment is $23,750,000. They are talking about $23 million. Payable in Ghana cedis equivalent at the prevailing Bank of Ghana Forex rate at the time of payment. Now, the fee account for 12.5% of the estimated total construction cost of $190 million. Now, this particular place is very, very important. Now, what can I say? The total budget for the assignment is $23.7 million. Now, this $23.7 million is being paid to David Ajay's company for design and supervision. Also, Tia said David Ajay's company has already taken 32 million Ghana cedis for being a consultancy firm to elect a company to go and do a design and finish with the construction. Now, I'm gonna say David Ajay, after taking the $32 million cedis, you know, his company now won to design the cathedral. No, he is going to be paid $23.7 million. Now, sir, $23.7 million. No, obube free a year $190 million. From start to finish. No, yedi basic cathedral. No, and before they were writing to the Public Procurement Authority. No, now our budget said the cathedral is going to cost $190 million. But before that, 2018, they were telling us that the cathedral will cost $100 million, $200 million. But when they were writing from the Jubilee House to the PPA, no, almost David Ajay, no, almost $23.7 million out of the $190 million. Remember, David Ajay's company has taken 32 million Ghana cedis for just consultancy services. Now, the government is saying we should pay David Ajay $23 million. And yes, city so $1 million out of the $190 million we know is going to be the whole money to finish constructing this cathedral. Now it goes on to say this. Appendix B and C provides the fee breakdown for your consideration. Now the fee covers preparatory works for up to a construction handover. The anticipated construction period is between 24 months, 2 years. Attached as Appendix D is the company registration profile. Now, also attached as Appendix E are the profiles of the 3 key personnel of the design team and a selected profile of part of the delivery team. Appendix F provides example of some groundbreaking designs and completed designs and construction projects under said David Ajay's trademark, counting on your usual a year cooperation. And see, from what I am reading to you, this letter is from the Jubilee House. It was signed by Honorable Akosua Freeman Opare, Chief of Staff, the Chief Executive, Public Procurement Authority, CC, the Director, F&A, Office of the President. Now, so this stage, you know, what we know from the letter from the presidency is clear. David Ajay company was contracted to be a consultancy firm to elect a company that will design the cathedral to help supervise for construction. David Ajay ni we na 32 million Ghana we no. And I say, yeah, for just the design, you call PPA, you command $23 million. $23.7 million to come and design and supervise the construction. Remember, I'm going to letter we will need $190 million US to finish this whole project, meaning $23.7 million in your bet $190 million. So Akufo-Addo sent this letter to PPA to approve. Now, the National Cathedral, at the end of the day, is not a government policy. And then also the two team, National Cathedral, the only time PPA comes into issues like this to sign and allow, and say, because we are going to use the taxpayers' money, and no one PPA BIM. The only time you see the Public Procurement Authority signing something to say Ajiatum budget ne, it means it's a Sikana Majiatum no a accountant general and a finance minister. So in the first place, why is the president or the presidency writing to PPA when the project is an individually or somebody's personal project, not funded by the government? Why is the presidency writing to PPA to approve? Why is the government now forcing PPA to approve an amount which, at the end of the day, the PPA is approving on behalf of the taxpayer? So technically, the government or the presidency is telling PPA to approve this amount for us to pay David Ajayi, $23 million. Now, PPA responded to this letter. This is the response from the PPA, which was led by ABAJ. Public Procurement Authority, private mailbag, blah, 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 blah. And you can see they replied this letter on the 17th of December. Remember, the presidency wrote them on the 10th. It was delivered on the 11th. The PPA led by ABAJ, they are doing what? They are responding to this on the 17th. That's after 4 days or 5 days. This is what they said. Request for approval to use single source for the appointment of a consulting firm. And then also the Tutrimo, for the appointment of a consulting firm. It is not the construction of the cathedral. This particular money you are talking about, 23.7 million, is just for the consultancy firm to draw the designs. So you need to draw that line. Now, what does Public Procurement Authority say? We make reference to your letter number CSCR DA 415/427 blah 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 dated 10th of December 2018 on the above subject. At the board technical meeting, committee meeting number 20020/2018 held on Thursday 13th December 2018, the board granted approval to Office of the President, that is OOP, in accordance with Section 72(5)(b) of Act 663 as amended, to engage Mr. Sir David Ajayi and Associates as lead consultant construction and supervision for the construction of the National Cathedral, Christian Cathedral, at a total cost of 23.750 million. After David Ajayi Muji 32 million Ghana cedis for just getting their own company winning their bid, they are paying him for design and supervision $23 million out of the $190 million. Now it goes on to say, OOP, that is Office of the President, is however requested to negotiate for a 10% trade discount on the contract sum prior to the award of contract. The approval contract sum, therefore, 21.375 million. So PPA, so Kachrom say, the presidency should go and fight for some discount, 10% discount. If the 10% discount applies, the final figure they will be paying David Ajayi and your 23 million, it will be $21.3 million. Now the question is, this document can only be effective, and the first one can only be effective if the presidency had actually gone back to do this. Now there's no letter showing that the presidency actually negotiated a discount of 10%. And as we speak, All these documents, if anybody say they are legit documents, for us to pay this money, that person is a criminal. Because the procedure is simple. The PPA said, go out there, Office of the President, go and negotiate for a 10% discount, trade discount. Meaning, almost go and do this. And you bet you finalize it. I can say yes, $21.3 million at Bemano. There wasn't any interaction again. There's no letter there showing say the presidency followed the process. Now you have to understand, so when it comes to contracts, documents, especially with the PPA or the Public Procurement Authority, documentations, the procedure should be very, very much followed. The moment you breach one part of the process, the whole process becomes a sham. And Intendera said, Paul Addo said, he is not worried because he did not breach any procurement law because he did not even go through procurement. The facts say, you are occupying a government office, and the rules states it clearly that every single thing you do when it comes to money, it needs to go through procurement. The moment you ignore that process, you have breached the law. That is why we say procurement breach. It's not about you going through or not. It's about you neglecting what you need to do. You neglecting your core responsibility as the lead of an organization, a government institution. So for Paul to say he doesn't have a problem because he did not even go through the process. You are in a public office. When you take a dime and you don't go through the process, you have breached the law. And the Paul Addo has breached the procurement law. But I wanted to educate him on that particular one. Now with this one, we need to understand that the bottom line is simple. And the bottom line is that we, the presidency, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, ascended letter copy PPA 2018. Say, after paying 32 million Ghana cedis to David Adjaye for being a consultant, to try and get a better company to come supervise, design, and build the cathedral. They are now going to pay David Adjaye $23 million. Sorry. Now the question you ask yourself, where is this money going to come from? And in the first place, what has procurement authority got to do with this? What has the Public Procurement Authority? If this letter was about what we call the land, which belongs to the people, I would have understood. Because you are saying you are giving a land to government land for some job to be done on. So maybe this is how much it's worth. That one I will understand. But this is not a land. You are talking about services. You are talking about somebody rendering a service and going through Public Procurement Authority. So is the project a government project or an individually financed project? And that is the distinction we want to know. So from day one, these people have used government money. We are talking about $23 million. $190 million. And you see, Ghana for the fact is, Obi and Obi, last me say first, I'll just give you people everything. I want a response from the presidency. I want a response from the PPA because there are some documents I'm keeping because I know somebody will blow up. So the bottom line here is the government of Ghana, Nana Addo Akufo-Addo, has used your money. This cathedral, all the things they were saying, said they were getting money from some individuals and donors, they are lying. They are paying $23 million from your money given to David Adjaye. 25 million Ghana cedis recently. We are talking about 32 million Ghana cedis for consultancy. We are looking at $190 million. Boga, if you are in Ghana today and you are not mad, you are not crazy, you are not pissed enough, then without due respect, you don't deserve to be there. This cathedral was built on lies. Nana Addo Akufo-Addo and his Achim Sakawa, they are laundering money and using this cathedral to launder money. They are stealing through the cathedral. So, I'll give you this today. I'm not too well. The team, we are saving the rest of the documents. And there's a specific reason why we are doing this. We are doing this because we want Ghanaians to understand that where we've gotten to is not a stage whereby we have to all sit back and watch these criminals use religion, cathedral, to destroy us. First question, what has PPA got to do with a project like the National Cathedral, which is a combination for the Christian council and the Christian community and a president? We were told from day one that the National Cathedral, the Christian National Cathedral, wasn't going to be funded by the government. Why are we now having documents through PPA for PPA to approve for monies to be paid? And whose monies are these going to be paid? And by the time during that time they were sending these letters to PPA, how much did they even have in their fund? When did they start campaigning for the National Cathedral? We are not stupid. Ghanaians, muma imbie ni kakra. Ekufuado ya kronfo. Ekufuado knows majority of us are foolish because your boy Nyankopon ding, your boy Bible, we all fall for it. That's why today the clergy, majority of them, we respected. They are all quiet. They have been fooled. They have supported crime. These documents will be out tonight. Have access to them. If you're a radio presenter, you're a TV, you are with me. I always say this platform, we never hide documents. Have access to them.